Hello, beautiful people. Happy Saturday. We are here to talk about what went wrong with And Just Like That. How did we go from Sex in the City to Just Like That and the reception that they received? And we will be doing this the way that we did our last topic live, where we go over a really great article and we discuss everything. So that will be fun. And don't forget, we have our live tomorrow tier list ranking horror final girls. Y'all, I am so freaking excited for that. It is not even funny. I was literally like this close to rescheduling this live for tomorrow and changing tomorrow's live to today. That is how excited I am to do that live and really just go through that topic. Like, I'm so hyped. And I feel like even people that aren't like the biggest horror fans, like the final girl is still something that a lot of people enjoy. So even if horror isn't your thing, I still think that, make sure you show up to the live. It is going to be a lot of fun. Nothing scary will go down for the people that just cannot do horror. It is going to be fun. We are going to be ranking our final girls, and we have quite an array, and it is definitely very different from any other final girl tier list ranking on YouTube. I have scoured YouTube for ages, okay, for final girls ranking, and it's a lot of folk that they always leave off, and it's a lot of folks they always talk about, which of course we have the iconic, memorable ones, but we got ones that we're gonna go over that no one else has. Now, y'all, we're late. Look, y'all know what y'all dealing with when we late, okay? So the other day, actually, I was supposed to get everything ready for this live, but when I tell y'all, and people always fuss at me about this, I swear to God, it's like I don't get to select this stuff. My brain just does. Like, I have selective memory, but I don't select what I remember. Like, when I have tasks and stuff to do, it's like my brain just jumps to what I want to do. I was supposed to be getting ready for this live, but I ended up going off and getting ready for the Final Girls live, and that took hours. That took forever. I had to try to get pictures of all of them and put together it was a lot. So then we get to today, and I was like, okay, I got to get my Hill House video recorded. I got to get that edited, get it up. I have to, get ready for my life. I had a list of things, right? And of course, I had my part-time job. I had to go do that this morning, dog walking and stuff. So then I get home, and I'm like, okay, what I need to do? Y'all, I completely just BS'd for a few hours. And I swear to God, I don't do it on purpose. And I wanted to do what the task at hand was. Of course, like, I love making content. Like, I wanted to do it. It's just I get so all over the place. So then I'm like, okay, I need to go ahead and get this content done, right? Y'all, why I veered off to something else. And when I do my lives, I use just the generic countdown of 30 seconds, right? But I want like a 2-minute, or maybe 1 minute. 2 minutes sounds like a long time. Like a 1 minute, 60-second, no, maybe 2 minutes. I don't know, whatever. Just a little intro when I'm getting ready to go live, so I can, have it up there, let everybody get in. Y'all, I spent 2 hours working on the intro and scrapped it. My nigga. Like, y'all, I don't ask to be this way. But I ended up not liking it. So and then it was like 4:00, and this live was scheduled for 5:15. So at that point, I'm like, okay, I definitely don't have time to record my Hill House video. I don't really have time to XYZ. I was like, all right, I'm gonna just take a nap. Babe, I took a nap. I woke up by 6, and I was like, oh, damn. But we're here, and we are going to get into what went wrong with And Just Like That. As most of you know, because a bulk of you discovered my channel for my And Just Like That reviews, I watched season 1, and even though I wasn't the biggest fan of it, I was still there for the nostalgia, for the love that I have for Sex in the City. I absolutely adore and love the original Sex in the City. And even though it was bad, it was still like fun to me. But then we got to season 2. And I think I did one video on season 2. I can't remember, but it might have been like one video, and then I was just done. Because at that point, it was so bad that like it was no longer fun for me to even talk about. So I just scrapped season 2. And actually, recently, I was thinking about going to like watch it because sometimes I do that, but I was just like, nah, I don't think I could. I don't think I could do it. So I thought it would be interesting for us to discuss exactly where and just like that went wrong. This is one of the few things that I have pretty much seen the bulk of people have pretty much the same opinion and experience. Because sometimes some people like stuff, some people hate it, some people rave, some people don't. But even though very, very few people have said they enjoyed this, for the most part, it has been a very overwhelming consensus that most people who love Sex in the City did not walk away with good feelings on it, and just like that. So we are going to go over and discuss this article that I came across that I feel like really does a good job at pretty much summing up a lot of good points about and just like that, and how it veered off from what made Sex in the City such a good formula. And if you check the pinned message, I have a link available for members if you want to jump on screen and give your thoughts. Now, I said I had this idea a few lives ago about like you guys getting on screen and like giving your thoughts on whatever a certain topic is. But I was trying to think how to really regulate that, because I'm like, I don't need nobody hopping up here and like being like psychotic. So I feel like I put the link up for members. That's just the best way I can think of to try to really regulate and keep just random people from jumping up and saying something crazy. It's kind of like in the chat, I have it set to where if you're not subscribed to the channel, you can't comment, which of course it's not hard to just hit subscribe and comment chat. But you try to find ways to only have people that are truly engaged, hop on and do all this stuff. So let's get into seeing what you guys are saying in the chat, and then we are going to get into our topic. They went wrong trying to include new characters no one cared about. Definitely. Hey, Miss Kira, thank you so much for showing up to the live, hun. Yes, new characters, 100%. New characters. Stupid new woke characters. And we gonna get into that woke. We gonna get into that, because that woke kind of that word kind of annoys me at this point. No Samantha. Yes, no Samantha. Hey, pretty girl Danny. Thank y'all for showing up to the live, for being here. And we are going to get into our article. But y'all, look, okay, I may be scatterbrained and all over the place and missing deadlines, but I get some stuff done. So when we first tried this out, there was an echo I could not figure out. I figured it out. And we ain't got the echo this time, okay? So see, look, I did something. I hear you. That word annoys me too. Yeah, seriously, because I feel like, first of all, it's one of those words that started with a certain meaning, and then now it just done went a whole nother way and means something different. And I also feel like I don't have any aversion to like watching something that is quote unquote woke. Like I could, like, even if I don't believe in something in real life, like I'm watching something fictional, it's really not a big deal to me. I don't care about seeing gay characters, non-binary characters, like, I don't care. Like, put in whatever the hell you want to put in, as long as it is an entertaining and good product. But the way people just be like, I don't want to see that woke. Okay, that's your prerogative. But let's get into our article and get into our discussion.
At 5 Ways Sex in the City spin-off went so wrong, and why most reboots fail. The rap critic and Sex and the City expert Jennifer Cation Armstrong offers post-op analysis of HBO Max series. HBO Max. You can't blame anyone for wanting to look backward instead of forward in these times, but we really need to do something about these reboots. It has become painfully evident that all this looking back comes with a price, namely, ruining the memories and legacies of the stories we once held dear.
Now, we had our discussion on how the box office has changed over the last 10 years, and we discussed reboots, remakes. And that is one thing that literally the number one thing that bothers me the most about And Just Like That. I don't even have to enjoy it. Like, I have Sex in the City. But the thing that bothers me the most is I feel like it ruins the legacy. And even when we get into like the Sex and the City movies, I feel like it ruins the legacy. Not so much that first one, even though it wasn't the best, but really that second one. And I hate that. I hate to love something and then they ruin it by a continuation of it or a reboot of it. Oh my, like that bothers my soul a lot more than just not enjoying the product. Because if I just didn't enjoy it just like that, but it was actually getting rave reviews and everybody else loved it, I would be fine. Like that wouldn't really bother me. I hate that it ruins the memory of it. It like puts a bad taste when it's like I go back to rewatch Sex in the City and I think of Miranda and Just Like That, and it kind of sours it.
While subpar reboots are thick on the ground of pop culture at the moment, The Matrix Resurrections, Scream, How I Met Your Father, nowhere is this more evident than in the sex.
Now hold on, that child. I never saw How I Met Your Mother, How I Met Your Father, but that Matrix, yeah, I did a video on that when that came out, and yeah. And I said in our live when we went over reboots and stuff, I literally want Hollywood to just stop rebooting and remaking for like the next 30 years. Like, I am so serious. And when you think about when we went through the history of the box office, 30 years ain't nothing. Y'all could go 30 years and give us original content. Like, come on.
Sex in the City reboot on HBO Max, and Just Like That. As we have approached the finale, available Thursday, the points of contention have built to a crescendo. Why introduce all of these new characters if you're not going to give them real storylines? Why did our favorite sensible character, Miranda, become such a flibbertigibbet in this iteration?
Oh God, that is the second thing that ruins this so much for me is the character of Miranda. One thing with Sex in the City, there honestly wasn't one of the ladies that I just didn't like. I liked everybody. I liked everybody together. I liked, it's kind of like if you have TLC and you have your favorite member, but you need all three to make and have the chemistry. I feel like we needed all four girls for that magic, that chemistry, that balance. Everybody brought something different. There wasn't not one girl that I just didn't like. However, Miranda was definitely my favorite. Miranda and Samantha were my favorites, but Miranda, outside of her being so judgmental, was the one that was the most like me. That was the character. When I saw the show, that was just like the pale version of me. The pale redhead version of me. I am very much a Miranda. And I'm so annoyed. I actually had this clip that I was going to play, like a 1-minute clip of like my favorite Miranda moments. And I did a practice live earlier. And of course, YouTube like struck me with the copyright, so I can't play it. But I love Miranda, everything she said, everything she did. And of course, 1000% people change. Whoever I was at 20 is definitely not the person I am now at almost 40 years old. However, I do not believe that your core of who you are changes. The core of me has been the same since I was 5 years old. Like, I don't feel like your core changes. You grow, you evolve, you like new stuff, but y'all, they hurt my heart with Miranda. And it's fine if they had Miranda change, but it was the way she changed. It was the way she felt like, it was like, I don't even know who you is. Like, who are you? You're not Miranda. This is Attack of the Body Snatchers. And everybody, like the big romance of Sex in the City was always Carrie and Mr. Big, but my big romance was Miranda and Steve. Oh my Jesus. As somebody who ain't even like a romance, that was the story. And I will never forget, I think it happened in the episode where Carrie was going through like the first date, like myths and stuff that single women go through. And that was when Miranda met Steve. He was the bartender. I cannot remember why she was sitting at a bar by herself, but she was. And he would be like saying what she should say, like, refill please, or whatever he was filling in for her. And they ended up having a one-night stand. And the voiceover from was like single girls would tell this story everywhere about, like we have the one night stand that turned into a relationship. When on the flip side, that was one of like the things that you don't do on the first date. So I don't know. I just love them. And even when she like confesses her love for Steve, when, oh God. And even when Steve was like a jerk, when he was, Lord Jesus, I don't even want to think about Steve in this light. But when he had that attitude, when Miranda wanted to buy him that suit for her little function at work and he had to act all ridiculous, everything they went through was just so endearing for me. I just loved it so much. I love seeing a softer side of Miranda. So could y'all have just ended in divorce? Yeah, whatever. That's life. But for it to end the way it did, for us to go from how Miranda acted towards cheating when Steve did it, which I hated that decision as well. The whole having Steve cheat, I don't buy it. But to have Miranda go from that to run around cheating with come on now. Come on. Like, people don't change that. Like, come on. And I always say, don't put nothing past nobody. I like to say there are things I would never do, but who knows what the hell you would do given certain circumstances. But it just didn't fly for me.
How did the new character Che Diaz so quickly flip from stealing the show to obliterating it with the sheer tonnage of their...
When the hell did Che Diaz steal the fucking show? I'm sorry, I didn't mean to say the F word. When in the hell did Che Diaz steal the show? Maybe I wasn't there for that. Maybe that was season 2. I forget the date of this article. I know, I think this article is at the season finale of season 1.
Amiability. Why are the now 55-year-old women at the show's center acting like they're 85?
Lord, that was a thing too. Because baby, my mama is about she was born in 1965. How old is that? Somebody do the math. I'm not good at math. But she up there in that age range. And she don't add nothing like how they was doing in the first season of it, just like that. Okay, my mama be out there like she's still in the damn military. Okay, doing her walks and all that stuff and jogging and y'all, the way my mama acting and stuff, because like, and my great aunts and all that stuff, baby. Yes, they were definitely 55 acting like they was 85. And my grandma is 85 and she wasn't even acting like that. That also irked me.
Why does Carrie keep texting with the absent Samantha as if Kim Cattrall?
That irked me as well. See, that's why I said this was the perfect article, because she is literally breaking down every single point. The texting, let me tell you, child. Carrie was getting catfish. That was not Samantha. That irked me so bad. First of all, was I happy we didn't have Samantha? No, I wasn't. Do I think, and just like that, could have still been successful without Samantha? I do. 100%. I do. I feel like the show could have still been successful without without Samantha. As much as I love that character, as much as I miss that character, I personally feel like her absence felt like so hard because of how they did the show, because of how terrible it was, because of the fun that was sucked out of it. We needed that spark. We needed that Samantha. But if we would have had better writers, I personally feel like we could have had a really good, and just like that, we could have had a really good run without Samantha. I don't think the absence of Samantha solely like broke and destroyed and just like that. They should have left her the hell damn out all the way. Don't have Carrie on here getting catfish, texting a motherfucking ghost. That irked my nerve. Oh, Jesus, so bad. And it makes no logical sense, because let's say Samantha is off somewhere and texting you. It is no freaking way she's not showing up for big funerals. So it just doesn't make sense to add her in there.
Who refused to return in her iconic role might actually show up. She won't. Why did this out?
Speaking of, if y'all saw season 2, did Kim Cattrall ever make that cameo? Or were they just teasing it and she wasn't actually there? Y'all let me know, because y'all know I stopped watching. But did Kim Cattrall ever make that cameo? I'm dying to know that.
Fit, which could only be described as Inspector Gadget, but with makeup brushes. Happen? And most importantly, what happened to the original's elegant storytelling, its deft balance of humor and pathos?
There was no storytelling or adequate humor in it, just like that for me. Like none. Like, what were there were no stories. Things were happening. Characters were a shrew, but like, there was no actual stories. And that's also what irks me when people talk about woke. When you add, first of all, let white shit stay white shit. Okay, keep white mess. We did not need black characters in the world of Sex and the City. Every group is not diverse. They're just not. And that's fine. That's fine. But if you're going to say, hey, you know what? We had New York very whitewashed. We had this group very whitewashed. Let's add in some characters of color. Like, can they be real characters? Can they get real stories? And then you run the whole, every single white character gets their side piece of color. And then they branch off with their men they're dating, their husband. It makes for way too many folks. It makes for way too many folks. And nobody has a real story or a real substantial addition to the story or the other ladies. The hell was they here for? Like, seriously.
Its graceful way of bringing together disparate plot lines into a well-crafted theme. I do not register these complaints lightly. I had great hope for the series, particularly because I thought it could do for women in their 50s what it had once done for single.
And you know what? That's something I was excited about when they talked about relaunching and just like that. I'm one of those people, like, were y'all that kid that grew up real tight with like the elders of your family? That was me. And it bothers my soul the way women feel about themselves when they get older, the way women feel about aging. I was so excited for us to have a Sex and the City world with women in their 50s. Like, I was so excited for that. I was so excited to see that. Baby, they made being 50 look terrible. I'm gonna be honest. I mean, that's what I got. Like, goddamn, when I'm 50, it's gonna be like this. Y'all, no, they did not do. And I have no idea how Sarah Jessica Parker and all the, like, how did they even sign up for this? It made me feel like they were treating women of a certain age like a joke. I didn't like that. I did not like how that came across.
Professional women in their 30s. That is, portray their real struggles, but also show us how fabulous they can be. I reviewed and just like that. Positively in this very space in its early days, because of that hope. I knew it wasn't perfect from the beginning, but I understood the pressure it was under. I wrote a book about the original series, so I'm very familiar with the great expectations placed on this show, as well as the unfair, sexist criticism it has endured from the start. I have spent a large swath of my life defending this series as worthy of serious consideration, as a work that was as important as The Sopranos and Breaking Bad when so many wanted to reduce it to shoes and Cosmos.
Now, hold on now, baby. This is a completely different sector. I'm not going to say we putting them with Sopranos and Breaking Bad, but I get where she's coming from. It's definitely a lot more than just like shoes. I definitely feel, it just hurts. It, like, the potential that Sex and the City reached, all of that just pretty much died in the night when it came to it, just like that.
No one was rooting harder for, and just like that. I
still feel like it's a market, though. I want to see a comedic drama sitcom TV series of a friendship group in their 50s, fabulous, some single, some married with kids, and just showing a real diverse, happy, realistic, fun exploration of life for women in their 50s. Yes, there will be struggles and all that stuff, but like, let's package it a little more fun. Okay, let's tell women, like, let's not make women want to not see 50, okay? Because that's what I feel like, and just like that did. Like, damn.
Some of the concepts introduced as the series began. Carrie's longtime love and husband, Mr. Big, sorry, I'll never be able to call him John, died, and
I will definitely never call him anything but Mr. Big. But you know what? I'm not in disagreement of them killing off Mr. Big. I am in disagreement of them killing him off right off the bat and starting the series off so somber. But one thing I always say, because I know older women who have been married, and anytime people try to throw out at single women, you're going to die alone. Number one, the amount of husbands who leave their wives when they get sick and older is astronomical. Number two, most men are going to die first. That is just the reality. Obviously, it's not every single solitary situation, but most men die first, especially when you are talking about a age gap relationship like Carrie and Mr. Big. Now, he shouldn't have damn died this damn soon, not child. But so I am perfectly fine with them killing him off, because that is the reality for a lot of women who go through this toxic ass, tumultuous relationship with a man for umpteen odd years, like Carrie did. You finally get him. Congrats, you got your prize. And guess what? You still end up single. So I am perfectly fine with them portraying that. But it was definitely, well, the way they did the storyline, the way Carrie sat there holding Big and ain't called Mufkin 911, the Peloton, like, come on now, child. Yeah. All that was off the rails. But I do not feel like it was a terrible idea to kill Mr. Big off. Now, I feel like maybe season finale, I don't know, but not the first, not at the beginning.
Was compelled by the idea of Carrie grappling with the inevitable end of even forever love. Miranda, meanwhile, was breaking out of her hetero-identification upon meeting non-binary comedian.
I got a real problem with this. Breaking out of her. Now, I could be wrong, so tell me in the chat. Did anybody change their sexuality when they hit 50? Because I don't know about that being a thing. We already explored this with the character of Miranda when she was pretending to be a damn lesbian for the law firm. When her co-worker set her up and thought she was a lesbian because he ain't never seen her with a man. Which, who the hell just assumes that? And she went to kiss the girl. She said, nope, ain't gonna happen. Baby, your sexuality is your sexuality. I personally believe that. I personally believe it don't change. It can't, like, your sexuality is your sexuality, okay? I just feel like I said, correct me if I'm wrong, but if you know somebody or if you change your sexuality mid-life, you know what? I could be wrong. But I feel like your sexuality is your sexuality. You do not break out of your sexuality. You actually grow into your sexuality. You don't grow out of it. So that whole storyline is so nonsensical to me. Now, maybe it could work if we never saw her already explore that. And if she makes some confession that maybe she's been suppressing her true sexuality. Maybe she's bisexual, has always been attracted to women. That makes sense. But to just suddenly change your sexuality? No, I'm sorry, babes. I don't believe it. No, I don't. But hell, what do I know?
Che. This also struck me as a fresh and promising storyline that reflected actress Cynthia Nixon's own real life. The three.
And see, I don't like that. We don't need to mirror the actor's real life. I don't like that in the slightest. Isn't that the craft of acting? You be someone else?
Three actresses from the original The Nixon, Sarah Jessica Parker and Kristen Davis, slipped comfortably back into their roles.
The only person for me who comfortably back into their roles is Kirsten Davis. Kirsten Davis, Charlotte, was the most like their original Sex and the City character for me. Carrie would be the same, but they took all of Carrie's worst traits that she always had, they drummed it up, and they sucked out all the fun that she was. But Kirsten Davis definitely was the most like their original character for me.
At first, I was relieved to see that the series didn't have the women acting like they were still in their 30s, or pandering to Gen Z.
I appreciate that as well, because you know how these shows be doing, child. Because I'm like, baby, the show started in 98? These women is of a certain age. We ain't trying to go for a certain demographic, okay? We don't need to. So I'm glad they at least didn't do that.
Or doing only menopause puns. But as the season progressed, so many other things did
Okay, they may not have done menopause puns, but didn't we have a period pun with Charlotte?
go wrong. And just like that, lost its early promise and became definitive proof that reboots too often offer us little more than a kind of pop culture purgatory. But that doesn't mean we can't learn from the
Purgatory. That's the purpose. That's why I had to get out the burning flames of season 2. Purgatory.
show's mistakes. Here, the main missteps of And Just Like That, and what they teach us about the downside of trying to revive the past. 1. It was a show about having once been a show. Things people didn't like about that show. And Just Like That never crossed that magical threshold where characters in scripted stories transform into fully inhabited people in a fully realized world. That's it.
Now, I don't necessarily agree with this, and I could be in the minority here. I am one of those people, like Seinfeld is my number 1 favorite show. Nothing about those characters or that world feels like real life or real people. Like, no. Like, that is fine. And then especially when we get like all these shows that want to include wearing masks and a pandemic, I'm not a fan of that. I personally am not. I don't need the TV show to precisely mirror the real world. And to an extent, I need the characters to feel like real people. But yeah, I don't necessarily agree with this first point. Now, Sex and the City / And Just Like That is definitely a series where the characters need to feel like real people. It's definitely not like a Seinfeld situation. But yeah, I think the way the characters were in the original series was just fine. Yes, some stuff seemed unrealistic. Yes, some stuff seemed outlandish. But what the hell do I know? Maybe white women in New York really live like this. But yeah, I don't necessarily agree with this point.
At least in part because it was so preoccupied with 2 decades worth of criticism of the original, and, in particular, the
And I feel like that hurt this series. And that's the bad thing about rebooting and coming back is you're not really starting fresh. You are coming off of decades of Sex and the City getting a lot of criticism. And I feel like they ended up jumping in and trying to rectify mounds and mounds of criticism when really you didn't really need to. Now, some stuff, yeah, the way they handle like the bisexual guy and the trans that Samantha ran into, yeah, all of that is very dated ideology. But come on, baby, we went way too far.
mediocre first film sequel and execrable second movie. Most of that criticism was warranted. The original series was clumsy to the point of embarrassment on issues of race, even though it otherwise reflected New York City so well. It was out of date even for its time when it addressed bisexuality and the one episode in which it included transgender characters as a side note / joke. The entire second movie was a commercial.
That episode was Samantha dates the chef and his what was he? His sister was a chef. I can't remember what he was, but he was a black guy and his sister was black. Oh my God, that gotta be like my least favorite episode. And I get a lot of least favorite episodes when we get into Alexander Petrovsky. I was not the biggest fan of that relationship in those episodes, but Lord Jesus, was that terrible. But y'all didn't rectify nothing. Y'all went further down the motherfucking drain.
For white privilege. And Just Like That played, many times, like a point-by-point demonstration that its creative team heard and understood these criticisms.
The team heard the criticisms. They did not understand them.
Exhibit A, we are introducing several women of color as supporting characters. Exhibit B.
And I feel like what they pretty much did was spotlight all the issues. If you go from a series where we watched these women lives for what, 10, 12 years? Y'all, how long was they lives in Sex and the City? But we watched their lives for all those years. We come back to look at their lives. And not only do they suddenly have black people around and another woman of color that's not black, but they all come around at this point. Like, it ain't like they already knew these women. They're just now jumping in when y'all show us their lives now. Baby, come on now. I halfway be like, y'all, when I tell you, I halfway feel like it is no way the writers and showrunners are this clueless. I really feel like this whole show was trolling us. I really do. Because there's just no way you're this freaking clueless.
Here is a careful discussion of the use of they/them as a pronoun. The end result was more inclusive.
And I definitely feel like they're trolling when it comes to the non-binary character Shay. Why the hell y'all had to make the non-binary character so obnoxious and annoying? I feel like I swear to God, they're trolling. They want us to like have ill feelings towards the one non-binary character. Because why was she so obnoxious? Not she. Why were they so obnoxious? Like, come on, child. I don't care who that character was. Like, that character was obnoxious. That was the most obnoxious. Y'all, that character was so obnoxious. Like, it literally, like, damaged my brain to watch that show. Like, that's why I had to jump out of season 2. We went way too far into. I did not want to see Shay Diaz on the damn TV set. Like, come on, man. I really feel like they was just trolling us. Like, I really do. Y'all ever know that person that the second they know something bothers you, it just makes them want to pick at it more? Like, the second they know you don't like something or you're scared of something, they want to keep throwing it at you. I swear the whole series is just trolling us. It really is. Because that character of Shay Diaz has to be the worst character I've ever seen in TV and film ever in my life. And I done seen some bad ones. And I'm standing on that. I'm going to die on that hill. Shay Diaz is the worst character ever of all time, bar none.
Which is great, but the added non-white and queer characters still felt tokenized, rather than blending seamlessly.
And this is why I say that the showrunners and them heard the criticism and didn't get it. Because that's the thing. If you're going, adding diversity isn't adding tokens. Okay? So, yeah. They heard the criticism, they ain't get it. They ain't understand it.
Into the familiar Sex and the City world. 2. It took on too much during all of this overcorrecting, piling on too many characters and storylines.
That is literally the biggest downfall of it, just like that, and the catalyst for where they went wrong for me. It's kind of like trying to do too much at one time. You're trying to rectify too much at once. You're trying to pile on way too much at once that you're not even doing it correctly. You're just doing it. It's like when I was a kid and I was told to clean my room and I would just throw everything under the bed. Like, you're not really cleaning. You're not really correcting. You're just piling something in one spot. Now you're piling on all the non-binary and all the gender and all the people of color and all, and even with the Pebble child, you're putting all of them. It's too much. And now the audience head is spinning.
The new characters included Miranda's Mexican-Irish-American love interest, Che, Miranda's black grad school professor, Naya, Carrie's Indian-American real estate broker, Seema, and Charlotte's black mom friend, Lisa.
And none of those characters had anything substantial to do. They just didn't. Like, they literally had nothing to do.
That's not to mention those characters' love interests and husbands and the guy who did the podcast with Che and Carrie Ann. This sprawling cast, plus the 3 remaining women from the original, was too much for a 10-episode season of a half-hour show. Add in the
I like how on Sex and the City, Carrie had all these friends we would bop into and never see again. Like, we don't need to follow anybody on a regular basis outside of our core girls. Everybody else that Carrie would be talking about how she was friends with this guy for years. We never saw that man again. She had all kind of friends that she would be interviewing. What was the lady that almost got Carrie into like international prostitution? We never see that lady. Like, y'all, we had all these people that would come in and out, and we never heard of them again. And that's fine. That worked. We did not need to pile on Naya and all these folks. Who become friends with a damn real estate broker? Wasn't Seema the real estate person? Ain't that how she met Carrie? Like, come on, baby. We did not need to like pile them on every single solitary episode.
Show's apparent ambition to tackle every possible aging issue, hearing aids, hip surgery, facelifts, and every possible woke issue, and you had an incomprehensible mishmash, rather than the tightly written gems the original produced. 3. It took its characters down too many pegs. The beauty of the original was its ability to subtly undercut its characters, who enjoyed a lot of privilege, just when they were getting a little too full of them.
That is another good point. One of the things I love is like when I just was joking, like, hey, maybe rich white women like in New York live like this. I love how the show did that. Carrie almost came across as like this very like privileged life, perfect girl, but Carrie was always, baby. The one thing I love is when Carrie is grappling with going to walk on the model walk, right? And she falls on the runway. Like moments like that bring the characters back to some level of reality, and it's a good balance.
Themselves. The classic opening credits ran the tape on this every week. Carrie sees herself looking glamorous in an ad for her column on the side of a bus, only to be splashed by dirty street water when the
That was another perfect example as well. Because who the hell got their face on the side of a bus? Like that is so grandiose. Like that sounds so like ridiculous. But then she, like they said, I don't like to use the term knock down a peg. I don't like that. But it's a good balance so that the character, like the average audience, can still relate to these characters that live lives that the average audience isn't living.
bus hits a puddle. So, fine, show us our beloved Carrie, Charlotte and Miranda struggling relatably with the changing times, but there's no need to punish them and us relentlessly. Charlotte and her husband, Harry, grappling with their child's gender struggles made sense.
Let me tell you, child, that little pebble got on my last motherfucking nerve. And what was the other child name? Both of them kids got on my nerve. I just cannot believe that somebody like, how in the hell did Charlotte raise kids like this? Like I am just the woman who was all about being proper, and the way her kids taught her, and then Harry, come on now, baby, letting their kids talk. No way. Jewish people do not let their kids fly off at the mouth like that. Like hell no. I am so disappointed at how they was raising their kids. It was literally like outlandish. And I was a kid that got away with a lot. But it's a certain point where you know your parent look at you and you know you done went too damn far and you know you reeling in. No, they kids was running the damn muck and it irked my soul.
Miranda babbling microaggressions at her black professor on the first day of grad school.
Lord Jesus. Miranda getting into that damn class and talking to Naya like she ain't never seen a black person a day in her life. Oh my, right there to show it, like killed, over, done. Like Miranda dated Blair Underwood, the finest black man in the world. And she don't know how to talk to the lady with the brain. Come on, man. Come on. Oh my God. Okay, let me not go crazy. Okay, yeah, okay, let me reel it in. I'm not gonna yell. But having Miranda of all people, because at the crew, Samantha too, but come on, babe, she was with Blair Underwood for a long time. It was a straight up relationship. Ain't mean to tell me she don't know how to talk to the black lady when she walk in the class. Ooh, okay. That though, that seat.
Maybe she was nervous, but this was pushing it. Miranda's complete lack of confidence and competence throughout the season. This felt like sacrilege.
Miranda's complete lack of competence. Ooh, my nigga. Like, yeah. Ooh, Jesus. Okay. I can't. In what realm, in what world, in what parallel universe does Charlotte have more damn sense than Miranda Hobbs?
Against the original's smartest, most grounded, and most widely admired.
Smartest and most grounded character was definitely Miranda. And then they turn her into this bumbling fool that's following after Shay Diaz to California. I just, oh Jesus, oh the way our heroes fall. I guess you die a hero or you live long enough to see yourself become an idiot.
Character. 4. It lost its purpose and its joy. This isn't unique to and just like that, it's a core reboot problem. In this case, the original captured the zeitgeist with its drive to show single women in their 30s in a totally new way, not as spinsters, not as a Kathy comic strip, but as glamorous and enviable. It did this while still reflecting such women's real challenges and teaching us new ways to think and talk about sex. And just like that. Didn't have the same sense of vital mission and reason for being, which sapped it of its joy. The reboot's incessant punishment of its characters and
And you know what? That's something else. Maybe that's why, and just like that failed when Sex and the City succeeded. It definitely feels like, and just like that had no real mission. We pretty much came back just to capitalize off the Sex and the City name just for money. Like, it definitely doesn't feel like they had any clear cut ambition, mission, statement, like nothing.
Its focus on oldness drained it of all the original sparkle. My sister calls this version Sad in the City. Perhaps the most indelible image from this season is Carrie sitting at the window of her old apartment in the iconic Atelier Versace Mill fight gown she last wore in the original's Paris episodes. It's a fun idea. What do you do with your old haute couture? Turned into a, presumably unintentional, Miss Havisham reference. The beauty of new things is that they're fresh and vital, coming from an original artistic impulse that births them into a specific moment for a specific reason. There's so much excellent television right now.
I've never been like a big fashion girl, but along with my clips of my favorite Miranda moments, I also had my clip. It is one of my favorite Carrie moments. And Carrie used to work my nerves in the original. One of my favorite Carrie moments is when Big is about to marry Natasha, and Carrie is in her iconic silk dress with her curly hair, with her Carrie necklace, such an iconic look. And she has that conversation with Big of why wasn't it me? And he's like, it just got so hard. And and Carrie is, pushes his hair back. Your girl is lovely, Hubble. I don't get it. And you never did. And she walks away with, now the walk away would have been bad if she hadn't looked back, but it was so iconic. But YouTube won't let me have it up without striking me. But oh my God, when you talk about like the fashion of Sex in the City, I don't really partake in the fashion conversation, but that was definitely one of my most, like, I have a few, but that was my most iconic Carrie look and one of my most iconic Carrie moments. I just felt that scene so much. I just love the I don't get it and you never did. Like, yes, Carrie, I love that so much.
We should keep the shelf space and bandwidth for those vital new works to spring forth. 5. Endings are a critical part of any art, especially television. And reboots undo that. We make a big deal about finales, we debate them and dissect them, because they lend meaning to the years of our lives we've spent watching a show.
Yeah, I don't like that about coming back as well. The only time I'm for coming back was like Dexter New Blood. When you have an ending that the audience, like, synonymously, like, everybody pretty much agreed they hated how things ended for that character. A ending is literally most vital. I remember taking my creative writing classes, and that the ending is pivotal. Your characters go on a journey, and it is all about where we leave them. And I, for one, prefer how we left things, like, cut the damn movies. Just Sex in the City, the show. I want to just fantasize about Miranda and Steve selling off in the sunset, living happily ever after. Charlotte finally got her happy ending. I don't want to know that Charlotte kids turned out to be goddamn insufferable, entitled brats. Like, I don't. That ruins the whole Charlotte journey and how badly she wanted kids. Like, girl, this what you wanted? For me, and just like that, definitely like undoes and ruins the ending that we got of Sex in the City. And I'm even fine. That's why I say cut out the movies. I didn't need the movies and have Carrie and Big get married and we go through that rigmarole and Steve cheats. I also feel like that undoes our ending in Sex in the City, which the Sex in the City ending, it wasn't the greatest in the world. Like, it truly wasn't. But I am fine with where we leave those characters.
The Seinfeld finale angered millions because it literally indicted the character.
Y'all already know how much I love motherfucking Seinfeld. I hate the season finale. I refuse to even watch it. I rewatched Seinfeld so much and I never watched that season finale. Oh, shoot. I done hit the wrong thing, child. Where the hell was we? Now, see, I done got all caught the hell up when we done talked about the damn Seinfeld season finale. That now I done messed the hell up. Now, where were we? Okay, quick intermission while trying to find my spot.
9 seasons. The Lost finale whipped fans into a frenzy because it failed to answer many of the questions the series had posed.
Side note, I never watched Lost, but my mother did, and she talks to this day about how angry she is with that finale. I am literally already prepared for the fact that From is going to end the same way. We will never get answers, so I'm just prepared.
The Sex and the City finale was polarizing because it prioritized the love between Big and Carrie over the love she had for her friends in New York City. But at least it made a statement and gave us a sense of resolution. Revisiting the characters undoes a lot of that, whether by killing Big.
And yeah, that's what I mean when I say we didn't get the best ending of Sex and the City series, but we got a resolution that I'm content with as where we leave the characters.
Or worse, pretending the years of love between Miranda and her husband, Steve, meant nothing.
Pretending the years of love between Miranda and Steve meant nothing. That bothered me as well. Like I said, have Miranda want to be with somebody else, have them get divorced. But the way she treated Steve, the way she treated their marriage, their history, there is a way to end something where you don't completely just shit on your whole history with the person.
This does critical damage to our ability to rewatch and appreciate the original. Endings mean something. We should let them be final and let original great works rest in peace.
Yes,
and just
Lord.
like that, let's
let them just rest. Let's let them rest in peace, and let's just go back and still enjoy them. We don't have to reboot, remake everything. And y'all already know from our last conversation on reboots and stuff, I am a huge fan of remakes and stuff. But no, at this point, let them die. Let them go to the damn graveyard and die. Okay, let's see some of our comments. Hello. Y'all, YouTube names make me feel like I can't read. Nardelli? Did I say that right? I'm sure I said it wrong. I'm sorry, honey. Let's see. Where are we? It flipped meaning, though to me it means anti-white, anti-everything. So I'm annoyed by it. I'm lesbian, but if you want gay characters, write them good. Woke definitely does not mean anti-white. The original meaning, because you know now it done. And I hate that. I hate when slang gets invented and then it goes mass and completely, like, the word just complete definition completely changes. Season 2 got better somewhat when Miranda and Shay broke up. Oh, they broke up? So is Shay gone? I just knew they would never break up. I agree the original feels tarnished somehow. Yes, so it's not just me. Because I have been going back for my top 10 favorite episodes of Sex and the City and my girlfriends versus Sex and the City video. And I feel like I still enjoy it, but it's definitely not on the level that I have always enjoyed it rewatching it. It definitely feels like they have tarnished the original. This robot voice reading is killing me. I'm sorry, y'all. Okay. What? I can't sit here and read it. They need to be in an era of creating. They already remade everything from the 80s and 90s. Literally remade everything. Like, that's why I said I genuinely, as much as I love a remake, and there are remakes that I like way more than the original, I need Hollywood to not do any more remakes, reboots, reimaginings, retellings for like the next 30 years. Give me a solid 30 years. And you can still do franchise now. Franchises that done been going for 50, 100,000 years, so let them die. Let's let Scream die. Let's let Fast and the Furious die. Let's let Mission Impossible die. As much as I really still enjoy the franchises, let them die. I need original works, and we can still do sequels and franchises of new things. But yeah, I come on, man, give me 30 years. They waited way too long to give a reboot sequel, and if they couldn't get all the women involved from the originals, even just for a cameo or something, feels incomplete, plus the writing. 100%. I do think timing is an issue as well. It hurt me to learn Sarah Jessica Parker was such a mean girl against Kim Cattrall. I love me some Kim, so unforgivable. I am definitely that person. I was didn't like when I heard all that stuff too. But I am definitely that person outside of some real like despicable ish. I can definitely separate like what I'm watching from like the real life. I will never forget learning. Remember way back in the day when we found out, when I say we, I mean the found out that Ethan Hawke cheated on Uma Thurman when she was pregnant. I wanted to hate him so bad, but baby, Ethan Hawke is my guy. He makes some great movies. So yeah, I'm gonna separate unless you do know the ish they be doing in sicko Hollywood. Like unless you on that level, I'm separating it. Cause I need the art. I need the content. So you gonna be a terrible person, but you know, normal terrible person. Like Mean Girl terrible person, not Predator a terrible person. They tried to incorporate Miranda's actual love interest in it just like that, but they made her a person. No one asked for what? Yes, Miranda's personality was definitely the issue. I agree, Kira. She forgot the actor's memo. She's an actor. She's playing someone other than herself. 1000%. I miss Samantha too, but it could have still been successful. 1000%. I completely agree. A Sex and the City reboot could still be successful without Samantha. 1000%. If they knew what the hell they was doing and had good writers. The weird non-fashion statement. I swear their fashion consultant is trolling the show. Now, I will say, as someone who isn't a fashion girl, the fashions of it just like that was questionable, even to my uneducated eye. She made it. It was awkward. We only saw her in a car. What are we talking about? What did we see that was awkward and only saw in a car? Yes, she did. She was in a car talking to Carrie. That was the extent of... Oh, when I asked if Samantha came back. Okay, so Kim Cattrall came back, but it was awkward and we only saw her in a car? I'm going to have to Google that scene. How does Samantha text Carrie for the whole first season, and in the second season, we only see her in a car? Was she at the drive-thru? I am very confused how she was only in a car. They could have just kept the cameo then. She was in a car talking to Carrie. That was the What? Okay, yeah. Oh, Jesus. Just throw the whole cameo away. Yeah, no. Side piece of I mean, that's what it was. I like LTW. They didn't know what to do with the professor in the second season. I feel like I like the actors themselves. I love Nicole Ari Parker, who is LTW, but why were they here? They had nothing to do. Them being here was pointless. They are in their 60s now, and we could have gotten a really great like story of some women in their 60s, still fabulous, 60-year-old struggles, throw some comedy in there, make it relatable. We could, come on now. Have we ever had a series outside of Golden Girls that show like women 60 and older? I'm not hip to it. Have we? Touched by an Angel don't count. I can't think of a show where we got women over 60, 70. How old was the Golden Girls? Weren't they like 80? I don't know. But I can't think of a show where we had women of that age. Agreed, they tried to appease the masses. But what masses? Because nobody was asking for this. I'm Black. I've been watching Sex and the City for ages. I was not asking for Black characters. Who are the masses they were trying to appease? So many people are sensitive. If they follow through with an all-white main cast, people would boycott for stupid reasons. They threw in... I do not think people would boycott and just like that for having an all-white main cast. They always had an all-white main cast and nobody boycotted. So I'm not sure I'm in agreement with that one. The writers were young, obviously making fun of older people, like they're not going to get old too. Everybody got a birthday. You get old or you die. That's the only two options. Hey, Samantha, they had them acting older Golden Girl. Because didn't Carrie get hip surgery, if I remember correctly? Like the hell? My mama got arthritis, but she ain't never had no hip surgery. What ain't? Equalizer? No, what ain't? The Golden Girls were lively, and these girls were so depressing and sad. Okay, so it wasn't just me. Because they made looking a certain age look everything was drab, everything was terrible and downtrodden. Blanche got more tail than and just oh my god. Yes, justice for Steve 1000%. Now, see, that's the thing that makes me say I want to go back and finish the second season of it just like that, because I do want to know where they went with these people. Like, what the hell happened to Steve? Did we ever see him again? Or since they divorced, gone off the show? But at the same time, I have no faith in these writers, so I kind of don't care where they went with these characters. But I am curious to see. Yes, justice for Steve. No, that does not happen. No, but in New York, I know women who later married men, they don't admit to their past either. That's called marriage. I be so confused what we be talking about in certain sectors, child. You die a hero or you see yourself become an idiot. I'm just saying. I love this series and I rewatched it and I can't stomach the end just like that. 100% I'm with you, J Love. I cannot stomach. That's why I had to bow out. I had to bow out of season 2 like that. I had to. I could not suffer through it. The way they did Steve was so wrong. The writers were trash. 1000%. They did Steve dirty. We here. It made no sense to do Steve like that. I was upset with Big's death. It was not necessary. And the movies were telling us that, and just like that was going to be trash. Yeah, because I can stomach that first Sex in the City. It's not good, but it's like a enjoyable not good. But that second one, I literally cannot even stomach rewatching it. I saw the second Sex in the City one time, and I have never seen it since. Like, I literally... oh my God. Like, I can't do it. LTW was only placed because she is Black, as were all the other side pieces. Most men do not walk out on their wives if they become ill. That is regarding my no it. Yeah, that's very factual. Actually. it actually is factual. Like I said, every single Star Trek one, of course not. Nothing is an absolute, but it is very much proven that men walk out on their wives when they get sick. I would complain about little to no diversity with them still being based in NYC. It's crazy for them not to be involved or around other races, especially when it looks like the 20. Yes, definitely. But they did not need to be thrown in as side pieces for the main cast and given nothing to do. And we didn't need, so like, why you threw all of them in there? You gave every main character a little token side piece. Like, child, throw in one little, but yeah, we went way too far. We tried to do way too much. And ultimately, the big reason, and just like that went wrong for me, is the writing. And they just tried to do too much with all of the haphazard inclusion, Lord Jesus. But this was fun. Thank you guys. If no one has any final thoughts, we are going to end it here. Blair Underwood made sense in the original series. Yeah, they could have just thrown in like somebody like we did with Blair Underwood, but the way they went about it was definitely the wrong approach. It did not goddamn work. The Aiden arc in season 2 started out promising, then took the most baffling turn. I had so much love for Aiden, and that was peak Carrie irking my nerves, was the way she was running around upset because Aiden was perfect. Like, The way Carrie acted when he was trying to help her when her laptop died. Oh God, oh God. The Aiden romance was peak Carrie on my mother freaking nerves. I did not want Aiden to come back at all. But I stopped watching, so I didn't see when he actually came back or what they did. So it's nice to hear it started out promising. But of course, when we dealing with and just like that, it's gonna all go down the drain. I get that certain groups and certain lifestyles and tax brackets only hang around each other and they are bound to be all one race, but they want more viewers and no backlash. And see, that's true. People are definitely, and they do, and sometimes rightfully so, have critiques about shows and things being just all white. But I just feel like Sex in the City for me, yeah, as a black person, I would watch and just be like, well, damn, y'all ain't got like no black people. But as the seasons progressed and we got like Blair Underwood, okay, fine, great. And would I have been happy if and just like that came back and maybe we threw in the professor or LTW? Great. But we didn't need to throw in and then not do nothing with the characters. Like, can we actually do something with the characters? Can we make the people of color like real people, not just side pieces for the white women? Like, so yeah, I get it. And I also feel like for me, every friend group is just not diverse. Like it's not. I gotta people I hang around, they white, they Asian, they black, they Jewish. It's a lot. But a lot of people don't, and that's just people I have literally known since like high school and different stuff like that. If you just go out into the world and you hang around what you hang around, it is perfectly fine. I would not want somebody to come be my friend because they need a black person to be around them. Oh, we need our group to be in. That makes absolutely no sense. And that is actually way more offensive than just not having no black people in your group. It is perfectly fine for you to not have an inclusive friend group. And it is actually very, very normal. But I don't want to just say that any criticism that audiences have about things just being all white isn't warranted. It very much is. It just like when we do our final girl ranking tomorrow, it is completely asinine that 97.999% of the final girls are white. It's just completely asinine. Rightfully so, we need more diversity in storytelling. Everybody's story we see 9 times out of 10 is white. And that's just the reality. And it is okay for people to have criticism towards that. It is very valid. But this ain't how you do inclusion and diversity and all that stuff. They just did not handle it well. Definitely didn't. You are so right. Hey, Miss Sharon, especially the hair drama with LTW daughter. That was another thing. I hated the storylines they did when her husband go trying to hail the cab and the cab don't pick him up and then the mama see him and then they have oh God, Jesus. It made me want to vomit. Like, I mean, it truly did. It was a different time. Color didn't matter because you could identify with the women regardless of what they looked like. I wouldn't say the color didn't matter, but I with the sentiment overall. Like I said, I was a huge fan of Sex in the City. Okay, guys, we are wrapping up our conversation and we will be back tomorrow to do our tier list ranking of our final girls. So make sure you show up for that. I'm so excited. Like, I'm hyped for that one. And I know I keep saying it, but y'all, for real, Haunting of Hill House will be up tomorrow. I literally I just need to sit the hell down, record, edit, and get it uploaded. We'll be here tomorrow. And then we still have Fair Play coming. Lord, okay, here we go. Lord Jesus. I'm glad that did not happen in the middle. I'm so glad it happened towards the end. Can y'all hear me and see me? Can y'all let me know in the chat? Are we good with the connection now? Can y'all see me? Can y'all hear me? Lord, that was so annoying. AT&T keep playing with me, child. They keep playing with me when it comes to my internet and my Wi-Fi, and this is pissing me off. But like I was saying, make sure you guys show up for our live tomorrow. And I also have Fair Play coming. And thank you, Samantha. We have Fair Play coming. We have The Haunting of Hill House. We have It Lives Inside. And we are hitting December. Content might start slowing up because I need to start working on my year-end wrap-up, my best of the year, worst of the year movies and TV shows. And if you haven't, check out my best of, worst of 2022 to get us all in the mood for the 3 wrap up. And thank you guys for supporting the channel. I will see you in the next one, which is tomorrow. So make sure you guys show up. We will be going live at 5:15 p.m.